Pokemon Sword and Shield came out last week. How are you all? How are y'all enjoying it? What's y'all opinions on it? Yada yada,
I
shit like
absolutely
that.
love it. Um,
Yeah.
Probably one. I mean, okay, so coming from, I don't think it's better than X and Y because I don't think they will ever be able to top Megas.
Okay.
But the new Pokemon, most of them are fire except for the fucking fossils. Um, Gameplay wise, a little bit linear, but I mean, I think it makes up for it with the wild area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I haven't gotten to the end game yet, so I'm still waiting to see all the post game shit like the Gigamax Pokemon that you can catch post game and all that kind of shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still playing, but I would definitely rank it because I think X and Y is probably the best Pokemon game I've ever played. That's just my opinion. I rate it right underneath X and Y
For the enjoyment factor, or just
for the enjoyment factor and well, I enjoyed X and Y because I was competitive.
okay.
So if competitive is anything like X and Y, or at least as fun as X and Y was, you alright? You gonna die?
I'm
Die
dying.
on
I
me,
was I
nigga.
was dying way too hard. I apologize, everybody.
Yikes.
Shit. Go ahead.
um, but yeah, if the competitive is anything near X and Y, then it's a good game to me. Sun and Moon's ass. Sorry,
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
sorry.
I half-heartedly agree. My opinion about Sword and Shield is split, and I have to say this as a forewarning slash disclaimer. Nah, it's just a forewarning. All right, anybody in the chat that has not beaten the game yet,
I
leave
literally
or
said I haven't beaten the game.
bro, chill. How far are you in the game?
Man, fuck all that bullshit. The story ain't even that fucking
That's what
good
I'm
to
saying.
even
Like,
be.
how far are
Bro,
you
bro,
with the
I don't give
game?
a fuck what nobody says, bro. You can't spoil Pokemon Sword and Shield. That story is fucking ass. But continue, Yoku. You're not
All
missing
right,
out.
so
Trust me.
there you go.
Continue.
Like Nick basically said it. I'm so disappointed in the story. Like, I'm not gonna say the story itself. Just know I'm disappointed in the story. I wanted so much more from Sword and Shield story. The first proper Pokemon game on the Switch, and y'all couldn't give us a grand story. And I compare everything to Gen 5. I don't want to hear your mouth about that one, Nick. But I compare every single story now to Gen 5. Gen 7 is good too. Me and you have had that conversation before, and I do recognize Gen 7 is having a really solid story to tell. And even that doesn't compare to Sword and Shield. Like it's not there. You know, Sword and Shield needed something throughout the end. It was just like all of the story for Sword and Shield was at the end. It was literally like, hey, you beat the game. Here's story. Like your reward for beating the game is some story. And I'm like, why? Like, I I just did all this for story. But on the other end, I still love Sword and Shield. I think this game makes you feel like a trainer. It's just the experience. As a game experience, this is top three for me. I would definitely throw Sword and Shield in top three for me as a game experience. Like story aside, just game overall, it's in top three. I would definitely throw.
Okay. Okay. Uh. Huh. This is my turn, right? I got
Yeah.
a lot of shit to say about these games. All right. I want to disclaimer this. I want to preface this with
I hate Sword and
no, no,
Shield.
no. Since most of the people watching this are like watching like my playthrough as well, right? A lot of that playthrough is a lot of my first impressions with the game. That playthrough ended literally before the games were released.
Yeah, you beat it. You beat it that Thursday morning,
Yeah,
actually,
I
didn't
beat
you?
I beat it that Thursday. That everybody was uploading their parts and shit, but I uploaded my part one that same day, but I was already at like Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, okay, I'll just finish this shit up. Um, I've had like a week and a half to sit with this game, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I do not like these games.
Hmm.
I don't. I'm gonna be real. It's weird because where do I even start? Let's start with the story. There is no story. I'm gonna keep it about a brick with you. If there if there is any type of story in Sword and Shield, it's through the characters, mainly being Hop, Bede reminds me of Paul a lot, but like a more flamboyant Paul. Every time I always read his dialogue in like Freeze's voice.
Yo, that's pretty.
Just
I'm
cause
feeling that. That's
yeah,
pretty good.
I do. I look at B and I like hear like read what he says, and I just hear Freeze's voice for some reason. I just do. But Bede, it sucks when you hear about him because it's like, oh hey, this guy's a dickhead. Then he gets his shit taken away. Then it's like, oh hey, he was an orphan, so him getting his shit taken away is like very important to him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like
also real is turkey. I just saw that comment there and I had to like speak up on it. That's not true. There's a couple of Pokemon games that actually have a good in parentheses story. But we can talk about that later. Continue. Nick.
We'll get to that soon. Actually, I disagree with that completely. But most of the story is through the characters. And I guess to some degree you can say that that's all you really need, but not when there's like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's really nothing. So think about it. So Hop, for the most part, is fanboying his brother. He is dick riding the fuck out of his brother, right? He has an inferiority. No.
That's do you hate Hop?
Do I hate Hop?
Do you hate Hop?
Yes and no.
Okay. I don't hate Hop. I have like a whole. I guess I'm like one of the opposites. A lot of people.
A lot of people like Hop for some reason.
Trashing Hop, and I think.
Well, no. Because the thing about it is
the reason why he's a good character.
Yeah, no. So Hop for the most part is literally a fanboy. You know, he's a fanboy. He's a fanboy of his own brother. He lives in the shadow of his own brother, and he tries to break through, but he doesn't because not only is he going against his brother's shadow, but he's also has you as a rival. You're the main character. You have to win, meaning you have to beat this nigga's ass. And that's fucking with him as a character, right? So not only does he have to live in the shadow of his brother, but the potential, the possibility of you as his best friend, he's second best. Which he was already second best in his family. If you go look at, his family's house and shit, they love his brother. They're all fans of his brother. They're the most successful. That has been a champion for at least 10 to maybe 15 years. Right? His brother won the league when he was 10. He's been the champion since. You're starting off your journey, I think about the same age as him, and/or like a couple years older than where he started. So you're like, he's been reigning champion, he's been unbeatable, quote unquote, for 10 plus years. Which is fucking insane, mind you. Remember that. So it's okay, cool. So Hop as a character is really, really complex. I feel like as a rival, he's terrible, but as a character, yes.
Yeah.
As a character,
that's a really good
as a character, yes. He's kind of Hop reminds me of Lily if Lily could battle. If anybody,
Barry.
No. I want you to know. I can't even say Barry. Hop reminds me of the Hop's like a plot device more so than Hop's a plot device. He's like N, where it's like he moves the narrative forward, but for himself and shit. I feel like Hop is cool and all, and the fact that people hate him, I feel like that's a good testimony to what they were trying to do.
Yeah, like if I can piggyback off of what you're saying, I like the idea, or rather the concept that they took with Hop, and how you mentioned the plot device, right? Hop isn't, and I don't want to say it's the first time they've been doing it in a few games, if we want to think about it that way, because you mentioned it with Gladion too, and I can talk about that as well. The way they're doing these characters now, they're not making the characters to be your rival. They're making the character to be their own character. So Hop is living his life in the world of Galar. You the player are living your life in the world of Galar. Y'all just happen to be rivals. You see what I'm saying? Like going through what Hop is doing and everything like that, and he's like, all right, cool, I gotta beat my brother, I gotta be better than my brother, yada yada, whatever. All of that is Hop's journey. It's the same thing that because I know what's the quote? I stole it from one of my thumbnails. Hop says in the beginning of the game something about like not telling your tale or not caring about your stuff, but this is my tale. Like, this is the tale of my legend. That's Hop's quote. Is something like, this is the tale of my legend. His entire the entire playthrough for him is his tale. That's his story. So when he goes back home, hey mom, this is what I did. Here's my week-long progress of what I did in the region of Galar, or a month, or however long it takes in the world of Galar. It's his story. Marnie is telling her story. Like, everyone has their own story. So in previous Pokemon games, it was always about us, the main character, right? Because that's just how Pokemon is. But as of late, all these characters are actual characters. That's why I really wanted more from the story itself and not just the characters. Like, imagine really good characters plus an amazing story. Then you just win.
I think, I don't know. It's definitely a different approach because, like, and this is why I compare. I feel like Hop is literally Hal if Hop beat Leon, or if he didn't beat his granddad. Because that's the thing about Hal. Hal is literally, like, I feel like he's the regular ass kid who wants to who lives in the shadow of his grandfather, and you know the whole purpose of the Alola League is like, oh shit, the Kahunas are the strongest trainers in the region. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, hey Hop, you gotta do this, you know, because you're Hala's grandson. He's like, nigga, I just want to live life. I just want to live life. And as he goes on, it's like, okay, I'm gonna beat my fucking grandfather's ass, and he does. He becomes a champion for a minute. In Sun and Moon, he beats everybody.
Yeah.
He becomes a champion. It's like, fuck that. I did it. You know what I'm saying? But then in Galar, it's like Hop lives in the shadow of his brother, and he can't beat anybody. You know what I'm saying? He can't win. I think that's the big opposite thing here. Is they both live under the shadows of relatives and shit, but the difference is their resolve. Because Hop, when he loses, he just says, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm just gonna go be a professor, or I'm gonna strive to be a professor. I'm gonna try to help out Pokemon. I'm gonna try and, you know, I'm gonna be that guy instead of being a trainer, because obviously a trainer doesn't work for me. I've been losing this entire time. Fuck it. I don't have to compete with, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to compete with my brother. I don't have to compete with my friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be my own person, and I'm going to become, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do my own thing.
My biggest gripe with Hop, and you see it throughout, I hate that we're like giving all this stuff to Mike and he's going through the game, but that's my biggest gripe with Hop.
Fuck me,
going
right?
through the story, you see that he has a very defeatist mindset. You're not missing out.
No. Now this
mindset, and I hate it.
No. Now this one's not. People gonna kill me for this. People are gonna kill me for this. But this is
Yeah, spoiler. Spoiler.
No. I'm gonna say a hot take, but I don't think it's a hot take at all. I think it's one of those I think it's one of those things that people just, you shouldn't say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Hop, the only reason why people like Hop is because they relate to the fact that they feel inferior to somebody else.
I don't think that's a hot take.
I think that's very much
valid.
A reality.
Yeah, I was gonna say
reality.
Because you gotta think like Hop, his entire life, right? Hop, his entire life has to live in the shadow, and that's why I don't like Hop a lot, right? Because I used to compare myself a lot to people that I just knew I just couldn't be, right? And at some point, I grew out of that, and I obviously just never, you know what I'm saying? I never compare, because I used to compare myself to my cousins. My cousins a lot. They were like the straight A student. They were like the honor roll kids. And my mom all the time would be like, "How come you weren't like your cousins and shit?" Mind you, our entire upbringings were different. You know what I'm saying? We lived in the fucking streets of Chicago. They lived in the fucking suburbs. You know what I'm saying? So they had that luxury of being in a safe environment. Me, I actually had to go out and basically learn how to live on my own, because my whole family's in a fucking disarray. You know, the streets raised me. They were raised by their parents and their mother and shit like that. They went to these good schools and shit like that, right? And so as a child, I used to actually feel like I was second fiddle. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck it, okay, I'm not my cousins. Fuck me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at some point, you know, through being raised in, I guess, the environment that I was raised in, that's when the rebellious phase comes in, and I just said, fuck all this bullshit. I don't give a fuck about my cousins. I don't give a fuck about, the opinions of my mom and everybody else who thinks I should live by their own expectations and shit. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started doing YouTube. YouTube was an escape from, life and shit like that. Especially when my uncle died, it was crazy for me. It was dark. You know what I'm saying? So I just was like, fuck this shit. So and it started for me really, really early on. But that was just my resolve, right? I never compared myself to people forcefully. I never because Hop has this thing where it's like, oh, hey, if I lose, it makes my brother looks bad. Yeah. I didn't give a fuck about nobody else in my family, when it came to living my own life and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many, doubtful things people have said to me, no matter how many bashing things, I've been attacked before for the type of person that I used to be and shit like that. And I never let that first stall me as a person and me progressing through whatever I want to do in my own life, right? And that's just me. I don't relate to Hop. But a lot of people who may have that inferiority complex into them or have family members they compare themselves to and lives in the shadows of and shit like that, they might like Hop. So yes, while Hop, I feel like Hop, the only reason why people like Hop is because they can see themselves in Hop. They see what Hop is and how Hop just says, aha, I'm gonna try, and you know what? It's not for me. Fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I'm saying? They see the disappointment in Hop as what he is to his family. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it too is, if you pay attention to Sword and Shield, nobody but Hops think this way. Nobody but him thinks that he's like an inferior character. Besides Bede. Leon encourages him. You know what I'm saying? All the gym leaders give him his praise and shit. They give him his flowers and shit, but it's something that's in there. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody else in the world of Galar besides him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's his own complex.
And so I feel like a lot of people, why they like Hop, it's an internal thing because they themselves don't feel like they're enough. They feel like they're holding somebody back in their family, or they're holding themselves back from some shit, or they're trying to achieve something that they themselves don't believe in. Because Hop kept trying, yes, but in the back of his mind, you can see it in his character, he slowly started to give up before the Pokemon League even started. Mm-hmm. Like before he got to the semifinals, he himself
Bede fight, bro.
That Bede fight, and I was live streaming this shit, and I was playing through Shield, and the moment I got to the Bede fight, I literally stopped and said, "Hey, this is where Bede's character goes down, and this is where Hop's character goes down, and Bede starts to improve a lot."
Yeah.
They
straight crushed him.
He destroyed that nigga, and ever since then, Hop gave up. Hop kept trying because he, in his mind, was going to make his brother look bad if he quit it. Mentally, he quit long time ago.
Yeah, he was done.
And that's his thing. Like, my thing is, as a rival, Hop is bad because he gives up. He just gave up. And for those who don't know, it's okay to give up. It's okay. Not everybody gets to where they need to go to. Not everybody gets, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody gets there. Shit. Not everybody gets their just dues. They don't get to see their dreams full front. Sometimes a dream defers a lot, and then you have to reroute it. You probably have to give that one up to start another one. You have to live your life to get more dreams. Okay, one door closes, another one opens up. For those who, you know what I'm saying, for some life lessons and shit, right? But the thing is, the difference between, and this is what makes Hop is a good, I love this. I love how I separated the two. Hop is an amazing character. One of our best characters yet, right? He's up there with Lily. He's up there with Gladian. He's up there with Hal. With Hal, Ocean Ultra Moon Hal. He's up there with them, right? But as a rival, he's just not it. Notice how all the people that I just talked about, and this is adding to your point, Ioku, are later game characters. Because in Sword and Shield, in Sun and Moon, they're different. Mm-hmm. In Sun and Moon,
I hated Lily.
But
I
Lily's the best
despise-
character.
Yeah, but I hated her until I realized that. I beat the game.
And this
for
is
Sun Moon,
and
but I
this
hated Lily for months.
I want everybody to know, and I'm gonna say this shit right now. Me and X have had this conversation plenty of times. If you watch like any of our versuses or our soul links, they'll tell you. I say this shit all the time. Lily is the best Pokemon character we have ever received. Literally, she deadass goes through her whole entire life being abused by her mom, who's obsessive with the Ultra Beast or some shit like that, who is neglecting her children, damn near beating her children, making her children feel like fucking trash. And for Lily to deadass go through that, find some type of solace in you as a character, and uses that to leave home and goes on her own journey, nigga, she is completely different, my nigga. She was a timid ass bitch when we met her.
That's like maximum character growth.
She was
And she's
scared.
still
She didn't want to do shit. She was scared as fuck to talk when you met her. And then at the end of the game, this bitch is leaving the Kanto. I'm gonna go on my own fucking journey. Her and her mom made peace. Fire. That whole thing is fire as fuck. Gladiator is the exact same way, but he just went and started running. You know, and started running the Aether Foundation. So their resolve is different, but their progression is the exact same. Gladiator's just more edgy because, you know, I don't know, dude. It's weird. You could have switched. You could have switched the two. That's exactly what Ultra Moon was. You could have just switched the two, and their resolve would have been the exact same thing. One of them was gonna leave. One of them was gonna take over. One of them was gonna help their mom. It was the exact same thing. That's my thing. I'm just like, you know, notice how all the good characters are our last two generations. 8th and 7th gen, when it comes to character development, when it comes to characters, when it comes to just story in general, are our best iterations yet. But only in the characters. I feel like 7th gen is the best story we have.
I think I really have to go back and play through 7th gen. I might make that something I'll do early next year as a project or something. I don't know. But I have to go back and play 7th gen and then 5th gen. Or vice versa. Because I got to compare them. I got to see why you say...
If you... The only thing I wish they would do, and everybody else who was here for this, because we did a stream about this before. The only thing that I would do, there's a scene in Ultra Moon where Moan from the Poképelago goes back and... goes back to the Aether Foundation, and he goes there to observe it. That little scene where Lusamine finally sees that nigga again after like years. And if you were to put that cutscene in Sun and Moon, we would not need Ultra Moon. We would not need that damn game. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't need that. We wouldn't need that. We would, because that'd be the ultimate way to send this shit off. And that's it. And then I wish they did more with Marnie. Cause Marnie, I feel like Marnie got cucked. I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like
you're talking about Sword. Yeah, Marnie got cucked hard. Dude.
Marnie,
nice
Marnie got cucked because like it's one of those things where it's like a lingering shadow. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh hey, here's Marnie. She comes from the slums and shit, but you never find this shit about her dead ass like till the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marnie's just a regular ass person. She comes in, she's like, "Oh hey, you're my rival. You're what I'm saying, you're another gym challenger of mine. We're one of like the 3 or 4 people who are winning and shit. Mind you, we never see these 3 or 4 people. It's literally just us and Hop. Bede is disqualified.
About that too. If we would have had more training.
No. And we're gonna get to that anxiety and that tire. You see what I'm rocking with. So Marnie, how they promoted Marnie seemed like she was a way more involved character.
Yeah.
But then when you get to Spike Muth, which mind you is the last like 30 minutes of the game story, that's when they just give you all of her shit. They just give it to you. They just like, hey, here's her town. You know what I'm saying? Here's her town. Here's her brother. Her brother is the leader of Team Yell. Team Yell are fanboys of Marnie. Boom, boom, boom. And then you go on like they never existed ever again after that. After you leave Spike Move, that is literally it. And then
if we would have gotten Marnie's like just to piggyback off of that, if Marnie, when you do find out when you go to Spike Muff and then you see who her brother is and like all of that kind of just transpires together, the relationship that she has with her brother, and it really only shows after you leave there and then you go into the league, because there's one particular quote or clip that they have, and he loses. Her brother loses in the league, and she's all like, I trusted you to win the league. Like, you were supposed to win because you don't use Dynamax. You're the one person in Galar that does not use Dynamax. You were supposed to win because I lost. And she was hurt. Not because she lost, but because he lost.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And
like,
it's really dope. Right there. It's really dope, the dynamic of the two, because he's her biggest fan, but then she's his biggest fan.
Yeah.
So and he didn't know that. In his mind, it was just like, you know, you're my little sister. You're way better than me. He's a depressed fuck. So he's just like, you know, you're way better than me. You know, I love you. You know, aspire to be better. Shit like that. And she's like, no, nigga, you're fucking raw. And it's like, wait a minute, why did you tell me that? What the fuck? It's dope. It's dope. It's just like, okay, cool. So I like those two characters. I wish they got more in the game, though. I thought there was just so much more in the story that they could like do with those two, and even Bede too, because Bede, and this is why I feel like Bede reminds me of like Paul, because Bede for the entirety of the game, he's a fucking dickhead, right? Then once he gets disqualified, it's like, okay, fuck this nigga, fuck him, right? Then you find out 20-30 minutes later, hey, this nigga don't got a family no more. Chairman Rose found him and confided in him or whatever. You know, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, he put him on there. And so when Chairman Rose disowned this nigga, that's when he just felt defeated. He ain't look defeated to me. When you meet that nigga before he meets Opal or Opal or whatever, he's just like, you're here to bask in the fact that I got disqualified. You're like, yeah, bitch.
You know what's funny about that? It's a depression thing. He masked because it's present. He masked his depression or his emotions
and that snarky shit.
Hurt. Yeah, and
that's why he reminds me of Paul, because Paul had the exact same bullshit, because his older brother, if you remember him, Paul from the anime, his older brother was the happy-go-lucky one. And he always told that nigga Paul, like, dog, like, you know, it's okay, my nigga. It's cool. And Paul was just like, nah. You know, Paul was like, no, I want to be the best. Like, nigga, relax. It's like, no. So, I don't know. It kind of, I don't know. The absolute best thing about these games are the characters. Yeah. But that is literally it for me. I feel like if you were to take away the characters, the story is fucking ass.
If you take away the characters, I wouldn't have finished this game. It would have been another Ultra Sun and Moon.
No, exactly. Like if you were to take away the characters, this game is ass to me. I feel like the region itself is small as fuck, despite how big it looks. And that's what fucking sucks about it. Let's be 100% honest here. You went through those black screens, those black loading screens. You got on a route. You maybe fought like 2 or 3 characters. You're in the next town, battle the next gym leader. You go in a complete circle, go up the train, go in a complete circle again, go up. And that's it. That's literally it, right? The meat of the game is in the wild area. And for me, I'm going to be 100 with you. I didn't pay $60 to fucking play Pokemon Go.
Yeah, no, and I get your perspective on it entirely, because you don't want to get back into competitive.
No. And if you take away the raid battles, which are just Pokemon Go raid battles, right? If you take away the raid battles, unless you're somebody who is deeply invested in shiny hunting, competitive training, and that's it, you know what I'm saying? Then these games are kind of ass to you. I saw somebody on a timeline talking about how there's no content in this game. And I said, what do you mean? The raid battles don't make up for the lack of content elsewhere. And I had to realize that this was a person who was a casual person.
Yeah.
So casual Pokemon players. Casual Pokemon players. Sorry to burst people's bubble and shit. They don't play for the story. They press A. They just play to collect their Pokemons, do whatever little Ami shit there is, and that is literally it. You know what I'm saying? This game, I feel like as casuals, this game has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
But for competitive people, it's the easiest it's ever been for shiny hunting niggas. There's more content in there for shiny hunting. And for raid battles, if you like Pokemon Go, here you don't have to go outside no more. You don't have to go outside no more, so here you go. So that's my thing. For the casual players, this is not the game for you, I feel like.
Right now, it's not. Right now. I honestly think that they will add more to the wild area. Like, more things to do, more...
No, I don't think so.
That's
features.
That's what the wild area is created for.
Well, no. So I disagree because all they can do is add more Pokemon.
No, I doubt that.
What else can they do? They can add towns.
I'm still in favor that we're gonna get event DLC.
Well, no. Event DLC is literally just raid battles.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm bringing it all the way back.
So like some 4th gen shit.
Yeah. Like, remember the Darkrai shit where you had to go to the shaman place or whatever, the Cresselia place. You got to snag Cresselia. You come back, you show the Cresselia to the dude, you get the Darkrai, and then boom. Or the Victini shit from Gen 5. That was really short, but still, point being, I'm taking it way back because they have the potential to do that now.
They would have to. I still disagree because half the towns are fucking empty.
I mean, but think about this though. This game is this is their flagship game that's supposed to. The sales are already out there, so like regardless of what people feel,
it's still successful.
They've already made their money,
right?
Yeah, they've already made their money. But in terms of, you already deal with the backlash. You've been dealing with backlash. It's still going on. As a company, as a game company, or just a company in general who deals with PR, being Nintendo and Game Freak, one of the biggest people, you have to keep away, or you have to find a way to keep balance. You can't just have a negative rep, because whenever it comes in next year, their literally only option is to do Gen 4 remakes.
Okay, so watch this.
Just hypothetically, if they had no intention on doing that next year,
so watch
they would have to do it to fix
Would
things.
you be perfectly fine with, for the next, I want to say, year until the next games get announced, where if they're a Sword and Shield 2 or a Sinnoh remakes, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? For the next year or so, they make it to where, like, on Diamond and Pearl, instead of, so how about this? Hey, here's an event, Cresselia and Darkrai, right? Yeah. And I don't know, they give you like some fucking some items via the Pokemon Center or some shit through an NPC or whatever. And you can just go do the raid battles, you can catch your Pokemon, and that's it.
Nah. I know that's what's gonna happen.
Well, no, because this is my thing. The thing about the old Pokemon games and the thing about Pokemon games in general, this is what I talked about last time, right? Is that Pokemon Sword and Shield, the towns themselves are empty. There are literally no places they can put NPCs in because they already cut them bitches off.
Mm-hmm.
If you the whole fairy type gym leader, right, is two buildings, a Pokemon Center, and a gym.
Yeah.
Bede's town is a shanty town, but you can't go into those buildings. You can only talk to the 2 niggas who sell you the shit, the 5 little kids who are having fun with the bronze on, and then the little shit in the Spike move is literally just a fucking line, a hallway, literally. Spike move is that's a straight shot, and it's a gym. There is nothing you can do with that, and that's my thing. Because in events, in old Pokemon games, the towns themselves, while they were bare, they have some type of shit in there, like how in what was the name of Canalave City for Diamond and Pearl, right?
Yeah.
They had that whole. They had that whole motel in the back that was locked. Nobody knew what the fuck that was, right? Until you beat the game and they had the Darkrai event. All of a sudden, that bitch was open.
Hold on.
Okay? All of a sudden, that bitch was open, right? And that shit was fire. Because they were able to unlock a place that, hey, you can't go in, and that's it. This game it doesn't have, oh shit, you can't go up in here or the door is locked. My nigga, you dead ass walk to those doors, they don't open. You press A, and there is no dialogue to say, oh, this shit's locked.
Yeah, ain't shit there.
And then Winden, the main city, the one at the top, the biggest city, you know what I'm saying? The biggest city in the entire region is 3 lines. Literally. 3 lines.
This game's linear as fuck.
You dead ass go in that town, there are 3 lines. There are 3 lines. You either go to the hotel, go to the Pokemon Stadium, or you take your ass to the I forgot what was in the middle. But this game, I promise you, they really want you to spend a lot of time in the wild area. The wild area is the meat of this game. And while I do see DLC and future spin-offs coming into play, most of that is going to be in the form of raid battles. Oh, hey, Dialga and Palkia are coming out for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Be sure to go get your shits in the raid. Oh, but before that, you have to go to the fucking, before you go get your Palkia and Dialga, you have to go to your Pokemon Center, talk to whatever NPC we have there, grab your item for those two, the Luxurious and the Gracious Orb or some shit, then go to the designated raid, do that, they're gonna be fucking hard as hell to beat, and that's it. So I 100%, when I do see DLC content coming, it will be in the form of wild areas shit.
I mean,
wild area stuff could be okay, and I mean, I don't know, like,
and
I
plus,
want to say it's not that different from what's happened before though. Like, events are like event Pokemon. You're getting event Pokemon. They just cutting out the middleman. They're just cutting out the middleman.
I guess. And no. But think about that though is like, think about the events, and this is what makes events really good in the after game. Events add
to the story.
Lore.
Yeah.
No. They add like lore to the world. Like when Celebi, right? You go through the entire thing in Johto thinking like, oh shit, the Ilex Forest is the sacred holy place, but you never actually see fucking Celebi at all. You never see him. You never see him at all until the after game when you get a flute. Then you go in that bitch. And in the remakes, they made it 10 times better. Rather than getting your fucking legendary Pokemon off the rip, nigga, they gave it to you, and here's a whole event for Silver. You see what I'm saying? They added to the lore. Meloetta is a dance opera Pokemon. You get her in Castelia City. You never see that bitch in the games at all, right? Until that one instance, and you have her. But it's not without some dialogue, not without some world building. Darkrai and Cresselia are literally a duo. To heal people of Darkrai's curse, you need Cresselia. But in order to get Cresselia, you have to catch Cresselia, grab the Lunar Wing, go to whoever did their like Team Plasma Victini as well. They added to the region is what I'm saying. There's not much to this region anyway, barring the legend of the 2 fucking dogs and the dragon.
So what I think is possible, because it's not like they haven't done it, and a prime example of that is Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild had a base game, and then we had an expansion, and the actual expansion added shit that wasn't in the already in the game.
Now
like
that
scratch NPCs,
now that's
a whole different part of the map and like different places, all that shit. So
now,
they could do that for Pokemon.
Now that would be different.
Game Freak wants to.
If Game Freak really wanted to, right? If Game Freak really wanted to, they would add so much more to the story, because it kind of sucks. Eternatus is one of the most underwhelming Pokemon.
I still
literally.
don't know what the fuck that Pokemon.
That I want you to know. They talked about the Darkest Day maybe like 5 or 6 times in the story, and they still never went into what the fuck happened.
Facts. Like,
and then you see Trainer Rose talking about, oh yeah, we awakened Eternatus, and it's like, nigga, okay, you see behind him the fucking cage and shit, but nothing pops out. There's no cinematic. There's nothing like that at all until you go up that motherfucker and you see him for the very first time. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Where was the build up for this shit?
You say, what are these skeletons?
You know what I'm saying? Like what's this skeleton dragon? What the, nigga, dark, red eyes, black dragon ass fucking thing is this? When was this here? They didn't mention shit. They didn't like have an illustration. They didn't do anything. Even in the tapestries, right? They were more so hiding up and covering up the dogs than they were the actual darkest day. Like, what the fuck is the darkest day? What the fuck is the darkest day?
You know what? On an optimistic level,
and they could add to that.
I'm definitely with you. Yeah, I was gonna say they could definitely add to like the story that we keep questioning. That's what they can add to. I'm 100% with you on the fact the Sword and Shield was very disappointing as a story, but in terms of what they have the potential to do, and this is I get that everybody's.
I'm not doing potential no more.
Whatever.
I'm not doing potential.
Yeah, yeah. After X and Y, potential sucks.
After X and Y, dog, any potential Pokemon has in anything means nothing to me until I see it.
Oh damn, man, the face.
Because X and Y, y'all know me. I have never slandered X and Y at all until recently, because I realized that no matter what potential Pokemon can do, it's really up to what they want to do. And while yes, they could do DLC, they could do all this extra add-on shit. You know what's probably gonna happen? We're gonna get a Sword and Shield 2. We're gonna get a year's worth of updates with the fucking raids and shit. And hey, here's a Sword and Shield 2. Why? Because Sword and Shield sold more than Sun and Moon, so guess what? We know you niggas gonna eat this out just like everybody else did. Ah ha ha. And that's what's gonna happen. And that's, and I want you to know, and everybody knows this shit. Everybody knows this shit. I have sat here and I have defended X and Y literally since them bitches came out. I have talked about what they could have done, what they should have done, what they could have did, what I would have did. They could have did a lot of shit with those games. They could have. There's so much X and Y. They dropped the ball. I want you to know, speaking about X and Y makes me mad. It makes me that is the only time Pokemon has ever made me really, really mad, is with how much how much potential X and Y. If X and Y would have went with what they could have done, they would have been the best Pokemon games hands down. I promise you. But they didn't. Because it's the woulda, shoulda, coulda shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we got. What the games could have been is not what we got. So until I see action, I don't want to see potential. I don't even want to hear that shit for Sword and Shield.
We need a new team for Game Freak. Like I get that they have their staples and they add on, newer people. Game Freak needs to, and I've said this for a long time about a lot of companies, especially Nintendo in particular. They got a lot of old heads that need to just get out, leave.
But you know what's crazy though? Junichi Masuda isn't that out of touch.
It's not that he's out of touch. It's
the team is out of touch. Because you gotta think it's crazy as fuck. And I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to this shit. I read all the interviews and shit, right? That nigga Masuda is ahead of what he has it. You know what I'm saying? If you hear him talk about Pokemon, he'll sit here and tell you everything that they want to do. But guess what they can't? That's what they say. We can't do it. Why? Why can't you do it? Because this, that, and the third. And he'll give you valid explanations, but for some reason, people have this assumption that they know what the fuck goes on in the industry and behind these game companies and what really goes on behind this shit. So they'll be like, oh, Pokemon is a $9 billion company, but forget that the games only do half as much as the merchandise.
Not
the
even
TCG. They don't even have. The game's like the lowest source of income from the company.
Like I say, the game only did $6 million. How much did Detective Pikachu make?
Honestly, I don't know. How much did it make?
How much press? No. How much press did Detective Pikachu make? Remember that. Detective Pikachu is a movie. They've been promoting that shit a lot more than I've ever seen them do a Pokemon game. I promise you. That's my thing. People swear they know what the fuck's going on in Pokemon, but you gotta remember, Pokemon isn't just the games. It's
Detective Pikachu, 431 million worldwide.
400?
431 million worldwide.
Sword and Shield, they sold
6.
more. They sold more than Sword and Sun and Moon. But remember, Sun and Moon only sold 6 in a week.
Right.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Trust me. when it comes to Pokemon, the games themselves are like the least priority when it comes to this shit. The games, they are just there to just give you some shit to play. Nigga, if we really wanted to, we shove the anime down your throat. You're already buying merchandise anyway. We don't give a fuck about what you got to say about the games. The TCG still popping and shit. Nigga, you're still buying plushies. Who gives a fuck what your opinion is, my nigga? As long as you still... Bro, look at this shit. Hold on. Watch this. Watch this shit. Watch this, bro. Nigga, as long as you still have... Look at this shit. And this is how you know I'm a fucking fan, my nigga. As long as you still have these bitches... Look at these. As long as you still have these bitches... Let's keep it pushing. Hold on. As long as you still have these bitches, as long as there are still gullible ass niggas that buy this shit, look at this shit. They don't give a fuck about nobody's opinion about no goddamn fucking Pokemon game. Because Pokemon games, they don't bring in that much money anyway.
Nope.
Compared to the anime, compared to the merchandise, compared to the TCG. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about this shit. They don't care. The Pokemon company is more than just the games. Yes, Pokemon is a $9 billion company. Yes, but guess what? They don't get that fucking... Game Freak does barely even sees that much money. Game Freak maybe gets like, nigga, a pie slice.
You could be damn for sure.
And they're
they
paying...
definitely ain't getting that whole $6 million.
Exactly. They're not getting that whole fucking money. Like, they're not getting that. Like, who the fuck... What's going on here? So... They're damn near starving. Game Freak is not getting that money like that. So that's my thing. My thing is... And this is just to just bring it all back. My thing is... Pokemon is a $9 billion company, yes. But you have to understand that they want money. They will give you another version of a game before they give you DLC. Unless I can be proven wrong in the next like 3 or 4 months, expect the Sword and Shield 2 in the next year or so. They're going to promote it. They're going to promote it like a whole new game. They're going to show you fucking differences and shit like that. But guess what?
It's going to be the same.
Why you got to do me like that, bro?
We get more Pokemon next year.
Oh, they add. Oh, fuck it. Instead of the 400 you get in fucking Sword and Shield, here's all 890. Here's all of them.
You a new one.
Yeah.
A new stack of
Here's another 400 mons and another 35 that you can't fucking catch. What? So yes, I understand that people have these like expectations when it comes to Pokemon. I get it, but you have to understand this is just me being realistic, dude. This shit is not. They don't give a fuck about your opinions, my G. And I understand as a consumer, you can have your opinion. You can have like your your outlook on shit. You can have your wants and your demands for the games. That's fine. But you gotta be realistic here. You have to be realistic here. Trust me, there are a lot of shit that I, as a Pokemon fan, my nigga, I play these bitches too much. I literally have a channel. I literally am trying to branch away from this motherfucker. But I still know this shit. Nigga, I know Pokemon. To the fucking T. You know what I'm saying? And there are a lot of shit that I want to fix in this goddamn series. But look, unless everybody who has an issue with Game Freak is willing to say fuck it and not buy Pokemon next year, we're gonna get another. We're gonna get another mediocre game. We're gonna get another mediocre game. We're gonna get another mediocre game.
There's no such thing as talking with your wallet with this type of game. As a dad, I know what my kids want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pokemon is for the kids. Pokemon is not for the people with little voices trolling on the internet. It's not. It's not. Pokemon will never be boycotted. Because parents buy what their kids want.
Hey, but real shit though, ayo, support Digimon Survive when it comes out. I'm dead ass.
I'm gonna pick that game.
I'm gonna be in dead ass as possible, dog. Digimon has been a run. That shit for the last like 4 or 5 years have produced some of the best games. Nigga, Digimon Cyber Sleuth is better than Sword and Shield. I'ma just say it, and that's just not. Hey, look. I'm all for hot takes and shit, but I'm sorry. I've played
definitely
both
not a
of
hot
them.
take.
I played both of them. Nigga, Digimon Cyber Sleuth, both of those games, shit on Sword and Shield. And that Sword and Shield came out Sword and Shield came out this year. Those games came out on a fucking PSP. I don't want to hear it, my nigga, but continue with this. Continue with this, dog. But that's just my thing. I like Sword and Shield, but I don't like Sword and Shield. I like Sword and Shield for what it is right now. For anybody watching this who enjoys the content for Sword and Shield right now, do not expect this shit in the next 3 or 4 months. By March, I will already move on from this shit. These games just aren't for me. These games are not. These games just aren't for me, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. These games aren't it for me, bro.
Kakarot come out in January.
Kakarot comes out in January. Nigga, Final Fantasy VII comes out in March. Nigga, there are other games. There are other games. There are other games coming out that are just that look more defined than Sword and Shield did before it came out. You know what I'm saying? And now that it's out, I can gladly say that the games that are coming out next year, I'm definitely on that ass.
Persona 5
comes out. God. The Zero collection comes out. I'm streaming now. I'm not going Let's Play, but I'm like there are much more games that just look better overall that I'm gonna just cover on the channel. So like I said, for anybody who is enjoying the Sword and Shield content, whether it's for me or the games, thank you nonetheless. I'm glad you enjoy it, but I want to say by mid-February, do not expect this shit to be on the channel. I promise you. I'm probably gonna upload another fucking nigga. Sage is getting done. Nexomon 2 is coming out. Fucking Phoenix Rising might be getting updated. There are fucking Pokemon fan games that are getting completed in 2020. Yeah, I'm not worried about Sword and Shield
next year too, man.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising ain't coming out, but Sage.
I don't believe in
Sage is getting done. Nigga, we're here. Nigga, Cyberpunk is coming out. Nigga, come on, bro. We're here. That's just my thing, bro. Nigga, Last of Us 2. Come on, y'all. I still gotta play through Last of Us. I'm gonna play episodes on. I've never beaten the game.
Oh, that's a stream.
That's gonna be a stream game. 100%. I'm gonna buy that bitch soon. I have never played Last of Us. That's a lie. I played the first hour. Anything after that, no. I haven't played it. I've seen the ending though, but I feel like it definitely would have hit me more if I played the game. You know what I'm saying? Because one of my friends definitely was like, "Bro, you gotta play this bitch." I said, "I already watched the ending." Nah, you gotta play this bitch. I said, "Okay, okay, cool." But I think when it comes to Sword and Shield, I like Sword and Shield. I really do. I'm interested in seeing where they're going now. Because this is one of those, if anything, is in the same vein as X and Y. It's just more complete. X and Y was a transitional game. This is another transitional game, but who knows if it's for the better or if it's for the worse. That's for us as the consumer.
Yes. And the best thing about it being a transitional game, it is right at the beginning of the Switch's life.
Ooh, facts. Because the Switch ain't going away for another 10 years.
Right. The thing with X and Y was it was right in the damn near at the end of the 3DS's life. It didn't have enough time to basically catch on. With the Switch gonna be around for a while.
I'm gonna say this right now. We're gonna have whatever Sword and Shield 2. We're gonna have whatever 4th gen remakes. Mm-hmm. Nigga, any fourth nigga, we're getting Diamond and Pearl remakes in Generation 8. Remember that. What I think we're gonna get? Already a gas generation. We're gonna get Let's Go. We're gonna get Let's Go eventually.
I think we're gonna get an actual battle service.
Probably.
To hook up with home.
Probably.
And just like straight battles and pull from
like
your
how
home
Battle
account.
Revolution was.
Yep.
I like that.
But it's gonna be a free service, but with like little add-ons for like storage or whatever, or you can buy.
How would that? Because like now that you mentioned it, I'm kind of curious if we were to get something like, let's bring up Battle Revolution, Coliseum, or not Coliseum, Stadium. Stadium 1 and 2, Battle Revolution. If we did get something like that for the Switch, so just strictly battles for Generation 8 or Generation 9, whichever one we'll say Generation 8. Strictly battles for Generation 8. would that be a good model? Be free to play, but
Yes.
in order to have your actual Pokemon, you have to have the other game to get the Pokemon from.
Isn't home going to be a paid service?
I think it'll be the same thing as
They never
Pokemon,
specify, but it might be Pokemon Bank again.
Yeah, that.
If it's a paid service, then I mean the only thing you would need to have would be Pokemon Home, and then you would link the battle service with your, Nintendo account or whatever. Have a friends list, send a battle, and it'll run on its own engine, and you'll play
But you'd still need the Pokemon from
home. Yeah.
No, from a main game. How do you get them on home?
Well, no, because the home is gonna be able to be accessible.
Home is replacing Bank.
Home is replacing Bank. So literally all your 3DS Pokemon will be in there. All your Pokemon Go mons will be able to migrate that shit over. You also will probably be able to. No. I don't think you can put. No. Sword and Shield. You can't put your Sword and Shield mons in Bank. You can only transfer forward.
Yeah.
No, you can't put them in Bank.
So
you'll be able to put them in Home.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. Pokemon Home takes all of the previous titles and basically only makes it to where you can either keep them in Pokemon Home and keep them there, or you can put them in Sword and Shield and that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't go back. They don't go back.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like at least Bank did the opposite.
So if they were to do that,
did both.
So if they were to do that, it would be one of those things where it's like, I feel like it'd be better because at that point it's like, hey, you have an actual Pokemon Bank. Meaning, if you did come out with like a battle service, it'd be a lot more easier because if I can't put my fucking Infernape in Sword and Shield, that's fine. I can put my Giratina and my Infernape in the fucking Pokemon battle thing. My competitive ready Mons from the last generation, just put them bitches in a new one, and we're here.
And that way, Game Freak has more creative control over what Pokemon they put in the next game. That's what I would do.
We don't and if you really want to focus on DLC, instead of just raid battles and instead of like whatever gimmick they try to push next, we could actually get it'd be like a live service game where you play through Pokemon whatever next title is, and you get clothing DLC. You'll get storyline DLC. You'll get shit like that. It'll be more emphasis on the actual game content versus the online connectivity shit, because guess what? Hey, we understand you people like battling, but there's an entirely different function for this. As you can put all your mons in, put them over there. If you want to breed, you can. That's you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to shiny hunt, that's you. But that's in the actual game themselves. If you want to battle, you can deadass sit here and breed up your mons, have your mons competitively ready. Imagine how Pokemon Wi-Fi battles. Who remembers Diamond and Pearl Battle Revolution Wi-Fi battles?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier.
Who remembers? Everybody in the chat say I, because if you were around for that time was amazing. It was literally a time where you can either live battle on Diamond and Pearl for the playbacks, or you can play through Battle Revolution and that be it. You can do either or. That's two different types of Wi-Fi battles. That's two different types of content.
Yeah,
and that would still be content in the game. Because you can still battle in the game, but those are more friendlies and shit. But that Pokemon battle shit would be it'll have the VGC options, it'll have the singles options, it'll have damn near the free for all options. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It'll have that. And now Pokemon is essentially, and this is my thing, Sword and Shield to me are like a hybrid mobile game and console game. And if that's where Game Freak is going with their games, where they're like a live service mobile game just for $60, that's where they should go. Because look how successful Pokemon Go was, right? Look how successful Sun and Moon were. Now let's mix the two. You see what I'm saying? Let's mix the two.
Now hear me out, because this is exactly why I'm going to school, because I'm trying to be a game designer, and I'm supposed to. Basically, the game designer's job is to make up the idea and pitch the idea, and then work with the dev team to get shit straight, and then move on. But this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what the Pokemon community needs. They need a battle service that could be pushed from.
Man, Game Freak gotta hire me, my nigga. I've been slaving away too fucking. I got an Entei tattoo. Hey, Game Freak, I'm right here, my nigga.
Hey, bro,
my next tattoo. This is a
You
custom
can't
Entei. You can't find this shit anywhere, my nigga. Don't say I don't love this shit, dog. Bro, my next tattoo is literally a fucking. What was I gonna get? I was gonna get the fucking luxury ball over here. That ass. Don't say I don't love this shit, my nigga. But
It's my favorite ball.
that luxury ball is
Luxury
fucking
ball?
gas. Luxury ball is
I think
fucking.
mine's probably Moonball.
Ooh, bro. One of my friends. Oh shit, Robbie. What the fuck? One of my friends is trying to hatch. He's trying to hatch a shiny Eevee in a moon ball, so he can have a shiny Umbreon in a moon ball. I'm like, you're so fucking sweaty. He's like, let me be. I'm like, nigga, that's a dream though. But that's my thing. Like, my thing is like, I don't know. I feel like I want you to know we're only in one of the 3 topics that we were supposed to get into. We were already like an hour 30 minutes in, so let's spend like maybe like 5 minutes on this to continue on to the next one. But that's my thing. Like, Pokemon itself is just like, dude, like, we're getting into a point now where a lot of the older audience is starting to show their age, and they're starting to show that, one, they're growing out of Pokemon, and the direction of Pokemon that Game Freak is going into is not for them. I've seen a lot of people compare Sword and Shield before the games were released or whatever to Persona 5, to Dragon Quest 11, to all these other Japanese games who, in my opinion, have to be better than Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? They have a smaller budget, but they have to be better than Pokemon. They have to be.
Because if they're not going to survive.
Because if they're not going to survive. That's my thing. Like, hey, Persona 5. The best thing about Persona 5 is the aesthetic and the music.
Mm-hmm.
Without that game is fucking whatever.
It's just a basic RPG.
It's the basic RPG with basic ass characters, the basic cliche storylines, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But it's that aesthetic. It's the red and black aesthetic. It's the music that fucking trumps everything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Look at Octopath. Octopath is literally the perfect traditional RPG in 2017, 18.
It was 2017.
It is the most perfect traditional RPG of modern times. It has a built-in speed up button, so grinding isn't that excessive, right? It has that old GBA styled that whole bitch shit that people like back in the day. Very traditional, turn-based. Characters are there. They have their own stories and shit. When they come together, they don't overlap anything. You know what I'm saying? Very traditional, very classic. The music's amazing, and that's it. But remember, Octopath got overshadowed by a lot of games that came out around that time too. But that's not negating the fact that Octopath was an amazing RPG.
It was.
And that's my thing. You have these games that have smaller budgets because they have to be better than Pokemon. Because my thing is this. There's no RPG, no matter how better an RPG is, nothing is beating Pokemon. We're damn near going on 30 years of Pokemon, nigga. It's just still at the top.